Today we are diving into the second Jack White studio album of 2022, Entering Heaven Alive. I'm going to unbox it for you, give it a spin, and let you know what my first thoughts are. Let's go. So in April, Jack White put out this incredible studio album, Fear of the Dawn. I have been listening to this pretty much non-stop since April, so I was really excited for his new album. They're kind of yin and yang albums. Fear of the Dawn is this extremely distorted, compressed, over the top, kind of heavy record, where this one's supposed to be very acoustic. He described the song Taking Me Back, which opens Fear of the Dawn and it closes Entering Heaven Alive, that the version on this album was very heavy and hard hitting, but this one was more, musicians in a room, more analog sounding. So I'm really curious if this is kind of a more audiophile take and how this one was recorded versus this one, because this album admittedly was mastered a little bit quiet. You really have to crank it up, so it gets a bit noisy, but I mean, no complaints. It's not audiophile music. It's loud, it's aggressive, and I've been spinning it like crazy. The packaging on this one was really nice, so I'm really looking forward to seeing what the new album has. There's a bunch of different variations that were done of Fear of the Dawn. I got the indie store exclusive, and I have the indie store exclusive of Entering Heaven Alive as well. I'm curious what kind of inserts and stuff come with it, because Fear of the Dawn came with these kind of alternate cover lyric sheets. It was also in this really heavy duty kind of cardboard jacket. I don't know if it's a Stoughton. I know that Third Man does use Stoughton for a lot of their jackets, but I'm not sure if this one is, but it's got some weight to it. It's pretty sizable, looks really good, feels good in your hands. Let's crack into Entering Heaven Alive. So first thing I noticed is it has this very large hype sticker. I think it's cool that it tells you what variation of the vinyl you get, so there's no questions. What am I getting if you do buy this new? I bought this from a independent record store, so this is the indie exclusive variety. One thing that I will notice that's kind of unique is that on the hype sticker it has sort of this 4 bar, which Jack White's obsessed with the number 3, so people were wondering what the hell's with the 4. But if you look at the Fear of the Dawn, it says that it's number 4 on it, which made sense because it was his 4th album, but this would be his 5th album then, unless he really does want to consider this to be kind of their A and B albums. They're a companion, it's a full experience, so this is part of that 4th album, or it could be something completely different. Only time will tell. So that's the front cover of the album. There's the back with this very kind of interesting photo of these kids lying on a hill. I think that kind of the creative's kind of interesting with these moon shapes that show you what song number it has. So I'm gonna crack into this and let's check it out. All right. So not as many inserts as Fear of the Dawn. Looks like it's one insert and a picture sleeve. The picture sleeve has, it's this very kind of weird, creepy, huge lineup of kids that goes all the way into the woods, and then I guess the back cover is an extension of that, so it all kind of ties together. Lyric sheet's very thick. It's got these rounded corners, which is kind of interesting. We gotta see the vinyl though. I mean, that's why I buy the records, is for the records. If you follow my channel long enough, you probably know that packaging is something I like, but it's not the only thing I like. Oh, this is really nice. I would have liked a little more of this kind of swirl, but holy crap, that's really cool. It's like someone dropped some tie-dye into a bucket of water, just absolutely beautiful, clear, sort of blue color. They're calling this Detroit denim. Really like it. There's the side 1 sticker. There is the side 2 sticker. So far, so good. Nothing too crazy. I mean, Jack White is known to put some kind of surprises in his vinyl pressings. I don't think I've heard anything that this is going to be mind-blowing, but really excited to listen to all the music because the singles that have been released so far have been good. The video clips that I've seen of him performing live have been great. So I'm going to go spin this and I'll let you know how I do. Okay, I have just finished my first full listen of Entering Heaven Alive, and I gotta say, holy crap, Jack went 2 for 2 this year. Wow, I loved it. Loved every single second of it. I liked the singles that had come up beforehand, but I mean, I didn't really, get it, because I mean, Jack White's put out a lot of acoustic songs throughout his career. They're usually kind of interspliced throughout albums and kind of, you know, the album will go up and down, where this is the first time we've got to hear Jack White doing just acoustic or semi-acoustic songs. I mean, just about every instrument on the album is acoustic. There is a little bit of electric guitar, there's, you know, some organ, but for the most part it's very quiet instruments. And he nailed it. I think that on vinyl too, the record sounded great. If you do buy the vinyl though, please give it a wash beforehand. On my first listen, I got about halfway through and it was so noisy, and I thought, there's no way this is right. So I give it a wet clean, listened to it again, and I had no issues. The record, like Fear of the Dawn, is mastered fairly quiet, so I did have to crank it up quite loud. Even with that though, I still found the record fairly quiet. I think that if you're an audiophile, you might not think this is a complete like audiophile album, but it sounded really damn good to my ears. Still, all of the songs were Jack just recording them on his own, where he like is playing all the different instruments like on Fear of the Dawn, but he did bring in a lot of different collaborators. And one of the things that was interesting is I was reading through the personnel that was on the album. I noticed that he basically reunited the Raconteurs. I think every member of the band and the touring band minus Brendan Benson played on the record at some point. There's also members of his current touring band, and Olivia Jean played throughout it. So it was really interesting just to see what he did. I dug it though, it was great. To me, there were 4 songs that really stood out. I absolutely loved A Tree on Fire from Within, A Tip from You to Me, If I Die Tomorrow, which was released as a single beforehand and I thought was great. So I mean, it on vinyl was just even better, and A Madman from Manhattan, which features Jack Lawrence from the Raconteurs on it. Something that I thought was really cool is I'd mentioned that this album ends with Taking Me Back and this album begins with Taking Me Back, and at the very end of the song on Entering Heaven Alive, it starts the intro to the electric version of it. So this is sort of the prequel to Fear of the Dawn. If you were to go on Spotify and listen to like Jack White's discography, when Entering Heaven Alive finishes, Fear of the Dawn would start, and it would play seamlessly as the 2 albums together. So I'm really excited to dig into that, and yeah, highly recommend it if you're a fan of the Raconteurs, the first couple of Jack White solo albums that had a lot more of that kind of Americana, bluegrassy, country, acoustic flavor to some of the songs. Check this out. I think that this is going to end up being one of my favorites of the year. I'm really excited to keep listening to it as well, dig through the lyrics a little bit more, and just kind of pick out some more of the stuff from the vinyl version. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. I'm not one to usually beg people to subscribe to my channel, but if you are a Jack White and a vinyl fan, I have a couple of Jack White videos that I'm working on that I'm really excited about that should be released in the near future. So subscribe if you'd like to check those out. Thank you so much for watching. Have a good day. Check out Entering Heaven Alive.